You're concerned about whether it maintains interest and so on. And I think there are a few things you can do that will make it more interesting than you're doing, all right? The first thing I think is your tempo. Your tempo is pretty strict. Now, as you know, we aren't metronomic when we play, especially music like a second movement that's meant to be expressive. So don't be afraid to stretch the beat a little bit, as long as it's just in the name of stretching, and you're not actually, ruining the tempo and the forward motion. It's fine. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you have a sforzando, some of the times you're doing it with full meaning, and other times you're not. Sometimes you're just going through the motion. Make sure that every time you do that, it has the feeling and the emotion that you feel. Okay, all right. The third thing is the go to the P, triple P. Must project. Unfortunately, it's getting swallowed up. We have a fan going, but in any audience, you're going to have this kind of problem. So you have to get out to the last row, and unfortunately, that's not quite making it. Okay? All right. The only other thing I would say to you, or ask you, I guess, are you pretty set in this tempo?
What do you mean?
Is this the way you play it most of the time? Do you ever alter the tempo at all?
Usually it's about this tempo. Maybe just a tad bit faster. Not much.
Okay. I recommend not getting locked in to any given tempo, because that's the beginning of getting stale and getting in ruts. Okay? Music has to live, it has to be alive, and that means we have to feel a challenge, we have to feel a certain newness when we play. And it's not that you're going to necessarily make wide ranges, but it's in 2, right? Cut time. Have you ever tried it a little bit faster? It gives you a different perspective.
I've tried it. Yes.
Yeah? And what did you think?
It felt really rushed to me personally.
It felt rushed. Why don't we try that first? Okay? I want you to try about like that. Now remember, Alexei, that this is an andante, which is a walking tempo, right? And also it's in cut time. It's not in 4, it's in 2. So ti da dee da dee da da is really okay, maybe even more correct. Okay? Could you try that for me? And then we'll go to the other things and at your tempo. Yeah, exactly. Now, do you already feel something a little different? Whether you like it or not, it seems different, doesn't it?
Well, it feels like it's moving along.
It feels like, yeah. All right, I would use the term breathing. It's now breathing. The other was a little bit cramped somehow, okay? It doesn't have to be. There's nothing wrong with taking a slower tempo, but it has to live for you, and I didn't feel that it was as alive as it could have been. It wasn't dead, but it was a little stale. So I think you need this, to be honest. The reason I stopped you is because, again, this didn't quite project. You can wait just an instant before you start this so that you prepare yourself and that you're ready. You know how to project, whether you're soft or loud, to get it out. Okay? Let's try again with that in 2. Okay, fine. Now this is an entr'acte. This is a little thing. in the middle, right? It's an interruption. You're playing it as if it's just a continuation. You do ya dee dum ta da 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 dum ti da da. I don't think it's like that. I think it's dum dee dum ti da 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 ti da da. That's how I see it. Try that. Okay, and I'm sorry. Do you feel anything here? That's kind of a romantic little expression, isn't it? I think that one. I mentioned your sforzandos needed a little bit more emotion or feeling. That feels a little dead to me, also. You know, one of the nice things about moving along a little faster is that it opens the door to emphasizing certain pillars as we go along. If you're going really slowly, you're emphasizing everything. You know, you're getting the most out of every note. And then, you know, when you come to a special note, you've kind of shot your wad. So try it again, would you? Now special. Yeah, excellent. For me personally, you didn't wait quite long enough after this, but that was you did well at the beginning of it. But remember, we want it to be separated on both ends a little bit so that we get the idea. It's like you're singing your tune and then somebody in the background makes a comment. You know, an intruder, if you want.